So Frank, good to see you as well. Danielle, always a pleasure to see you as well from Montreal. Nancy, good to see you. I don't think Nancy's missed a call since she started the program. Brett from Ontario, good to see you as well. Of course, I am Canadian. It doesn't actually matter where you're from. For those that were on the seller call last week where we talked to the bank, Brett actually got all the paperwork done today. So technically this thing closed today on a debt takeover from a bank, and the bank has no information on Brett whatsoever. His company, what he does, how he does it, no financials. Brett could be, a 96-year-old human from the bottom of the earth, and it wouldn't matter. The deal got put together. So very, very exciting day for Brett, his first of many. And again, this whole exercise is designed to help as many people as possible. And if you understand the skill sets that are necessary in order to help other people, there's no choice but to make millions of dollars in this business. And I don't know of any business that you can finance all of the assets that you're getting into in this economic time where inflation is bananas, right? It's you can taste it. You go to everything is more expensive day by day. I think I might have said this last week, but I think feed went up 10 plus times, animal feed. And if animal feed is increasing at that level, then everything else is obviously going to domino effect into meats being more expensive, milk and eggs and all the other things. So it's really going to be an impact, which is extremely exciting for those that are really working on honing their skills in this time in order to do amazing things. And those that are, if you got this email, you know that I'm going on vacation. And I say that it only means that I don't do 15 classes a week like I do that now. I don't think I have any mentorship students that I leave high and dry ever. Everyone basically has my phone number. I didn't make this announcement earlier today, but I'm going to do that. Obviously, if you have my number and you need help, I'm definitely going to help you. And we have a whole team as well. Frank, Gabe, and the others are not going anywhere. They're right here for you. So don't you worry. All right. So again, if this is your first day at the zoo, let me know so I can, be gentle and explain to you what's going on. If it's not your first day and you've done this a lot, then I don't need to give you a little bit of extra attention. So let's just roll into it here. And I'm going to share as a screen. And again, this is live. You can interact. There's absolutely no reason for you not to. And we celebrate those that don't know what they're doing, because if you knew what you were doing, you'd be doing it. So I'm going to share these two things over here. Hopefully I can make this as easy to understand as possible. All right, and yes, today is the longest day of the year, so that is exciting. Hit the chat, so make sure you guys understand this. And there we go. Now, just a quick background on this. This is a mobile home park. There are 10 spaces, not a very large park at all. Underutilized, only 5 spaces are available that are rented. So it's at 50% occupancy exactly. The rents are underutilized as well. You're looking at around $2,000 a month of net revenue. So gross revenue. That's about $24,000 a year. And at $24,000 a year, you're keeping around 60% of that. And you're looking at around a $14,400 net for now. And again, that's with around 5 tenants. The next 5 tenants will be all profit, making the cash flow much more significant. And as I said, we're buying this for well under 100,000, and there's a huge upside on this, which is very, very exciting. All right, so Brett, first live and number of videos. Cool, Brett, welcome. Welcome. So this is Craig and Anna's deal. They've started not too long ago. Very confused in a lot of ways when they first began. I'm not going to, pull any punches here. Very, very dedicated, always learning, always willing to, accept the feedback, which is marvelous. And now we're in a stage where it's getting really, really interesting. And this is a call I did on Friday, just a few days ago. And they got to a number which is pretty decent, which is, I'll just say it now so you guys understand it, 75 grand. All right, 75 grand on, if we do this divided by 75,000. All right, and again, there's a huge upside in you're at a 19 cap right now. All right, 19% return as it stands. All right, so is that pretty decent. Again, with a huge, another $3,000 of income coming, because it's under the rents are not being optimized at all. Like, they're paying way less than what they should be, and there's a significant demand in that area for housing. So there's a really nice little juicy upside, which we're going to get into if we have time. This is, as you can see, a very long call. It's 25 minutes. I don't know if we're going to have time to play the whole call. And again, we're stepping into this at 19%, and we're still getting more property behind this with a tremendous upside. So you'll see exactly how we did this, and let's have some fun. Here we go.
Hey there. We've been emailing back and forth about your property for sale.
Now, so just to again say this one last thing. So Craig and Anna did all the work. They followed the process the best they could. Mistakes were made, and that's fine. And at this point, there was I guess, confusion as to a couple things that were said and not said and should have been said. So I opted to hop on a call to get this thing back on track and to pretty much create the best deal possible considering the circumstances. Now, again, they got it down to 75K. I didn't. They did the work. I'm just stepping in to really make sure that everything that it needs to be done is there, so we can secure this opportunity and make sure that this is in Anna and Craig's portfolio forever, and is giving them cash flow for the rest of their lives, basically. All right, so here we go.
This is AC and Marco.
That is correct.
Is this a good time still?
That's pretty good. Yep, this is Dr. Lester.
Hi, Dr. Lester. Doing well?
Hey, I'm doing all right. You doing all right?
I'm doing better than all right. It's,
cool.
It's
right,
yeah. So
within about 2 minutes, I'll be with my dad, and in about 2 minutes.
Okay.
And
do you want us to call you back?
Hopefully he's right there. No, you can stay on the line.
Okay, so this is my first, I guess, walk away. You can't push a rope. You have to create an opportunity for them to say no, go away. You have to create an opportunity for your counterpart to feel like I'm not pressuring you, that I'm not a needy buyer, that, hey, this is the time that we've agreed, and you're late, what's going on? I'm really giving my counterpart all the opportunity in the world to say, you know what, this is not a good time. Let's have a conversation when I'm focused. I don't want to do any calls ever without them, being my counterpart or my seller, being super present in the conversation, because if it's not a good time, they're not listening. And if they're not listening, I shouldn't be in this position. It's wasting both of our times, because I'm gonna have to repeat all this shit later. So let's just pause and do this at a better time.
Okay.
I see this number is from Texas. Are y'all coming into state?
We have an office in Texas, in Vegas, in.
All right. Now we're calling using voice over IP numbers, or basically numbers that are not where we live. I don't know if I mentioned that Anna and Craig are out of Toronto, right? And they have a number that's out of Texas, and they're calling out of their Texas number. I have a Nevada number, and we have numbers from all over the place. And there's very specific places where we get numbers for reasons that we're not going to disclose now. But having the right number in the right location is going to be can either help you or hinder you. And again, we're completely doing this virtually, so they've never seen the property, nor should they ever. And they've never physically talked to the seller. In fact, at the beginning of the call, they said, hey, should we say hi to the seller? We've been emailing back and forth. The answer I gave is no. I cut that part out, but it's not about Anna and Craig. It's about the seller. And it's about figuring out really what their needs are, what their wants are, what their desires are, and how can we help and serve them at the highest level. And it's not necessarily always about a number. I call that a candy. It's more about the caramel, caring about the other counterpart and finding out really what the solution is to help them in their journey to do the next thing. Because nobody wants to sell just for money. Because if I put $10 million into your room and then lock the door and you can't leave ever, you're not going to last very long. You're going to be dead very quickly. It's not the money that you want. It's what the money can do, the next thing that you want. So I'm really focused on that next thing, not necessarily on the money.
And in Florida, in Central Florida, in the Orlando area.
Okay. Okay, when are y'all coming into town?
As soon as if we can agree on something today, we can wrap this up pretty quickly. We buy pretty much.
So his concern is, all right, well, when are you coming into town? When are you going to come see it? Which is normal, right? People that are selling things generally want to see it, lick it, touch it, do whatever they have to do with it before they buy anything. And it's fairly unusual for people to not come see the property while they're buying it. It's fairly unusual. But the process is, first we get the number straight, then we get another contract, then we verify that it's actually what it's supposed to be. Then we have a team that's local that goes to take a look at it, and it doesn't cost you anything to do that. So without having to shell out loads of cash, because it's forbidden to use your own money, once the numbers are verified and we have the right management team in place, it's downhill from there.
Across the country, we're a small private equity fund, and we buy mobile homes. We buy mobile home parks specifically, not just the homes. We buy assisted living facilities, hotels, multifamily. We do a lot of stuff. So I don't know if you have more for sale, but if you do, we're pretty liquid. So we'd like to get rid of this capital as quickly as we can.
All right. So what did I just do there? For those that are new, you might not know the interactivity that I enjoy, but in this specific case, he asked me when I'm coming in, I explain what we're doing, how we're doing it, which is basically financial or lobster dominance and financial capacity experience. Hey, we do a lot of things. We have a lot of cash. We're ready to go. And I'm not saying it to try to impress, but more impress upon that that once we agree on numbers, which is what I said earlier, we're ready to go. We don't necessarily, and I'm not saying we don't need to see it. I'm answering the question without answering the question. All right, if that makes any sense.
I have a couple questions before we get too far ahead of ourselves.
Okay. I'm with my dad now, and I'm getting out of the car. And
all right. So if you listen to this guy's tone of voice beforehand and now he's like, okay. Now I really want you to talk to my dad. So now I've planted the seed with this gentleman that is now going to most likely talk to his dad, who is most likely going to say something about, these guys are great. And he knows very little about me, very similar to what we did last week in the seller call with a bank. All right, the VP of a very large bank.
Walk over to him, just hold the line, okay?
No problem. Take your time.
All right.
All right, now there was a big delay here that I cut out. This was actually almost a 35-minute call. I cut out 10 minutes in the interest of not wasting all of your time and making sure we have the time to finish this call. Still cut out 10 minutes. It was much longer than what's about to be. I maybe should have cut out more. Sorry. Come on, man.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, just hold the line.
No problem.
Not much.
Now, again, I cut out quite a bit here. What I just predicted most likely happened because of we were on, again, I would say a good 7-8 minutes before we actually got to talk to what's about to happen here. And during that time, what I just did at the beginning seeded the conversation that he's going to have with, or the feeling that he has with the financial dominance and the capacity and the story that I laced in at the very beginning is only going to serve us, because if this guy is now on our side, his son is someone that he can trust to help on in the conversation. And I'm short circuiting trying to explain to you in a very condensed amount of time, but it's very, very important that those that understand how to do this continuously do this, because the more allies that you have in this negotiation or this conversation, the easier it is for you to create deals out of thin air.
All right, this is my dad. His name is Pastor Lester, and you can start talking.
Good afternoon, Pastor Lester.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Oh, hanging in there.
You're just hanging in?
No, I'm more than hanging. I'm working on a school. I just bought a school, and I'm out here in the sun.
All right. So again, interaction here. If you want to participate, great. If you don't, that's fine. But what did I just do there? Anyone? Going once, going twice? All right. What did I just do? How you doing? I'm doing okay. And I'm calling him out on just okay? What are you talking about? Right? And then he suddenly said, I just bought a school. All right. And I'm working out in the sun. You see how different the conversation is from the facade of how are you? Fine. Thank you. How are you, young man? Thank you for the information. Right. To a complete and instant human to human. Hey, I won't accept this facade. I want to know how you're really doing. Right. From a genuine human to human connection point of view, if you're just okay, then there's something wrong, right? So I want to get to the bottom of that. And that creates a lot of opportunity, which you'll see. And again, I'm not necessarily strategizing to take advantage of anyone. The more I understand about the person's situation, the more I can help, because I'm not here for me. Yes, we're going to be fine. Yes, we're going to make money. Yes, we're going to make more than 20% return. In fact, most likely, 35 to 40% return when this is all said and done. Bananas. All right. Very small part, not a big deal. However, it's good to help other humans and them be thankful for taking the problem off their hands, which you're gonna see in a second.
And working in. If you hang it in, you're doing real good.
Well, as long as you're on the right side of the ground, it's a great day.
I don't know if you can hear, he's laughing in the back. He's actually now enjoying and present in this conversation, period.
Hey, man, ain't no doubt about that.
Amen to that for sure. Absolutely. It's every day's a blessed day for sure. You're buying a school. You're buying a school. Are you just for fun? Is that what you do on your side? Just buy schools and renovate them?
No, I bought a school, and we're a church too. We're a church group.
Gotcha.
And what we do.
So do you just buy schools on the side, and for fun? And that's going to lead into the exact situation that he's in. So this is going to allow me to grab a caramel or exactly what's happening with him by just playfully taking his words and really throwing it back into a question so I understand it better.
I bought this school and I'm gonna make it a school of marriage. Nice. And we're gonna do marriages and all that in the school. I got a property and turned into an Airbnb. We're gonna let the married couples, live in our properties, for a week. Let them stay in there a week or two.
Nice.
And have their anniversaries and their marriage thing, in there and like that.
Making marriages better, one couple at a time.
Yeah, 110%. That's what we want to do.
That's a great purpose. I like that a lot. Yeah, that's
good.
So
I've dedicated my life. Dedicated my life to making others' lives better.
And it feels good, and it gives us purpose, and we're very much aligned that way. Anything we do has to be ethical. We're a small private equity fund, but we're not.
Right. So in 4 minutes, I basically created some financial dominance. I already talked about the fund with the son, but I need to say it again because he didn't hear it. And I'm aligning myself with purpose and joy, right? Doing things that are aligned with, it's good to give. And I started this whole conversation it's all about helping other people. And the reason I'm in this business is because I have the capacity and the responsibility to help as many people as possible that want to be helped. And you'll see that there's a character in this conversation that we're going to interact with, third party interact with, you'll see what I mean in a minute, that they were given an opportunity and really took advantage of it, because there are a lot of people that take, and it doesn't serve that well. So I'm already aligned with his mission, his vision and purpose of wanting to help the community, right? So now I'm going to align that with our mission of really wanting to also help the community by serving those that need the money quickly and giving it to them.
All about money. We tithe back 10% of every property that we acquire back to a different community or organization in that,
which is 100% true
in that area. And we're very community involved, and if it feels good, it feels better to actually give than it does to get. So we're very much aligned. So that's great. 2 peas in a pod almost. I know.
So what was is to acknowledge what we do and acknowledge that we're aligned in that way. And what do you think the result of that is going to be? That I'm listening to his purpose. He wants to help couples. He's he's this is this clearly a passion project. This is what he's very passionate about. He brings it up very quickly, right? And I'm talking very quickly from the second that I was put on the phone with him to less than 30 seconds later, he's telling me about his passion project. Have we talked about the park yet? At all? Have we talked about numbers? Have we talked about anything of that nature? Nope.
You're most likely more wise than I. You sound like you have
No,
more snow on the mountain than I do. And
it sounds like you're way more wiser than I.
Oh, no.
Like
No.
in realms I haven't moved.
So he's trying to tell me how smart I am, and I'm telling him how smarter than he is. Why do I do that? Why do I want to make him better than me? Because I'm not better than anybody at the end of the day. We're all people. Why do I, and this is sort of an angle that a lot of people use, I have more money than you, I'm better than you, I'm this than you. And it's very difficult to really align yourself on a human to human level when there's that disparity in perception of value between two people. The value that I bring to the table is to help another human. Does anyone need to have tremendous amount of money, resources, or anything else to be able to help someone else? Absolutely not. Now, I have access to the resources because I have the skill sets, and just like Anna and Scott have access to the resources because they've chosen to learn the skill sets to allow them to do that. And they've made the investment in time and money and effort in order to make that happen. And that this is the result, right? But their vision is not to make as much money as possible. Their vision is to help as many humans as possible. And by doing that, then you make a lot of money. But the money doesn't come first. It's people first.
Well, wisdom is doing what we love. And as long as you're serving and doing what you love, it doesn't matter, what happens around that. It's
That's right.
At the end of the day, I want 1 million people at my funeral, and I'm sure going to get close to that. So well done, sir.
Wow. Isn't that beautiful, man? It's beautiful.
So I understand you have a small mobile home park, and just like to get a
so now is the right time to start asking. All right. So now our values seem to be aligned. He's receptive. He's listening. All right. Let's talk about the park for a second.
little bit of information on it if you have a couple seconds while you're doing
your
your thing.
Yeah, 100%.
So have you had this a while? If I can get just a little snapshot backstory on this, that would be fabulous.
Yeah, 10 years.
Nice. And you're just done with it now, or are the tenants Jerry Springer-ish?
No, I have other interests. I'm the CEO of the school. You know what I'm saying? So I'm moving into other realms. We have 22 different businesses to open up in my school.
All right. So I'm asking him about the park, right? And what's his focus? Ask about Jerry Springer tenants, how long he's owned it. And notice how quickly he gravitates to what's important to him. All right. His other projects, the 22 businesses that he's putting in there, his passion projects. So I'm listening to this, right? So what's more important at this point? I tried to deviate to the park, and he's right back to his passion project, right? So what do I need to focus on? If I'm listening, what is it? Most people will go right back to mobile home, mobile home, mobile home. Listen carefully.
So,
Wow.
I'm going to be so busy, man, that, I'm not going to have time.
I understand. Are you managing it now, or is that what you do on the side as well, or do you have a property manager
I'll get there, I promise.
that takes care of those tenants?
Oh, they basically take care of themselves. No, I just manage it.
All right. Now, this is something I didn't like to hear. They take care of themselves. Does anyone know about tenants that take care of themselves? I do, and they're called non-paying tenants.
It's a little small, like you said, trailer park. It's no big deal, but it's a positive cash flow. It's definitely a positive cash flow. I owe $10,000 on it dealing with the bank. It's just because
Did I ask him how much he owes on the property? Where did this come from? Never asked him, not one time. Suddenly he just spits it out for no reason. And I know some struggle with getting information from people, but people will open, and I've said this even today, and for those that were in class today, if you focus on the caramel, everything just appears. It just happens. Everything that you need just suddenly appears.
borrowed and played with it, just borrow a little extra money and then play with it.
Yeah, of course.
And that's what I do. So, like I say, it's such a positive cash flow that even what I'm selling it for, you got double that coming in. You know what I mean? Just double that coming in. And if somebody had a little time, a little effort putting in the places of cash, oh my God, it's potential is unbelievable, because in the area there is number one, it's the best school district in Alabama, according to what everybody is saying. What's the name of the school district? Jacksonville. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, but it's got another name. It's not only Jacksonville. It's something I forgot.
We'll figure it out. That's okay. That's good. Do you know how many?
Yeah,
so there are five.
Yeah,
there are, understood. That's good. Are there 5 tenants now out of 7?
Right. There's zero crime. I mean, basically zero crime. The people you ride past there 10, 11 o'clock at night, they leave their doors, unlocked and open. You can see in.
What's he doing, guys? He's selling.
I mean, it's just it's Mayberry, man. It's Mayberry.
And that's good.
They literally walk up and down the street. They literally walk up and down the street 10, 11 o'clock at night, just enjoying life. The police is never there. Within my 10 years, I've had to where we had a domestic violence situation, and I had them to go ahead on exit the premise. And, but other than that, man, I mean, the place it runs itself.
Okay. Well, we're not in the position to not have property management, so we'll figure that out, though.
All right. So again, I love the guy, but I have to communicate that there's no way we're not getting property management. And there's a reason why I'm saying this, because his belief is it runs itself, and there's no way that anything runs itself. So property management is a must, absolute must. Okay. And that obviously chews into the returns, which is a conversation, if necessary, that we can have on justifying why we won't buy it at whatever number he wants, or why we have to buy it for lower. All right.
The big question mark is, I understand there's 7 spots and 5 are rented, and then there's more that can be done. Do you know how?
It's actually 10. I misspoke. So there's 10 spots total, with 5 that are actually rented, 2 that are just sitting there, 1 trailer with 2 other spots that need to have trailers put in.
How much work the other 2 units are? Do they need to be trashed? Do we need to put a little bit of work in? And how many more trailers, if we decide to go in that direction, would we be able to put in?
I would fix the 2 trailers. It's going to take extensive. I never lie. I mean, you know what I'm saying. It's not that I have too much money to lie. It's just that I'm not a liar. So, so the 2 trailers that's there, they're going to need some extensive work. Extensive work. People, maybe a couple of thousand. One of them is going to take a couple of $1,000s. It's a single wide, and that double wide is going to take about $5,000. It's going to take some good money.
All right. Just so you know, market rents for that area are around $700 a month. Okay. So if it cost not $2,000 but $5,000 for one, and it didn't cost $7,000 but it cost $12,000 for the other one. All right, $17,000. Let's call it $20,000 total. All right, $700 a month. And again, we're already paying our taxes, insurance, maintenance, management on the others, right? So everything that we do here is going to be juice. So if you do 700 times 2 times 12, there's 12 months. All right, you're looking at about $16,800 a year. And let's say you keep 80% of that because you want to have some maintenance reserves and you want to pay your management. All right, so we're going to keep about 13,000. So if we borrow an extra 20 in our process, and if we budget $20,000 extra, and even if we only got $10,000 extra, what's our return for that extra 20,000? So we borrow the 20 to fix up the trailers. What's our return on 20,000? Even if we got 10, it's a 50% return. Is that a decent ROI? Is that a decent return on the extra 20 that we're getting? So in a 10 cap market, that extra 10,000 is worth $100,000 of equity, right? That extra $10,000 in net revenue, if you add a zero, that's $100,000 in extra value just on those two trailers. Got it? And when you refinance, that's $75,000 of refinance money if you do 75% after closing costs and taking care of the people that you need to take care of. So is that extra $20,000 for $75,000 in your pocket later, minus the 20 that you have to pay back? You're left with about 55 grand in your pocket, US, if you're Canadian, which is like $10 million. Is that a good investment? Is that a good and wise use of money? Only 3 people are responding. Everyone's fallen asleep. Abso-fucking-lutely is the answer.
For somebody to go in there and, just renovate it, and you'd be able to get the laborers from here, Alabama, which would be much cheaper. And, if you needed us to, we'll turn you on to people that could go in there and spend $5,000, $7,000. You got $800 more dollars coming in, 8, 9, well, actually more than that. And it's time to raise the rent.
Now, the number I gave you is for the single wide, not the double wide, all right, on the 700. So there's a significant, as I said, a significant upside on these assets, right? So I'm being very conservative here. So I'm more than doubling how much it's going to cost to actually fix, and I'm lowering the actual rent and the demand in that area. Affordable housing is very difficult to find with the inflation the way it's going, and you'll see how we put this together in a minute, right? It just becomes, this deal becomes better and better and better and better and better and better and better.
Because we have the lowest rent in the entire Jacksonville community. $350, $500 and stuff like that. That's the cheapest in the whole community.
Yeah.
So it's a place where there's no housing. So your trailers, I mean, even now, people want to move into these trailers. These trailers are not ready. They're, they need work. The ones they need work. These people want them trailers now. You know what I mean? But I'm so busy and I'm so tied up. You know what I mean? And then, like I say, I have an Airbnb. I got so many other irons in the fire, man. I mean, I just can't breathe. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it all.
Yep.
So he's saying the tenants manage themselves, but now he can't breathe. So there's a disconnect there. And again, it's not because he's trying to be deceitful. If you read between the lines, it's sucking his energy into and losing focus into the passion project that he really wants to have. All right.
So what I want to do is, if I sell these, it gives me some extra cash in the bank to where is that I can CEO this school, but I can go into semi-retirement at the same time and just basically, hey, you go over there, you go over here, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And
so he just said exactly what he wants to do, which is what? Anyone pick up on that? Anyone listening? Because this is gold, Jerry. This is gold. He wants to retire and tell people what to do. He wants to sit down and just say, you do this, you do that, because he's tired of doing the shit that he doesn't want to do. Got it? He just doesn't want to do what he wants to do.
We can be the top head honcho, just tell people what to do and not have to do as much. I'd love to help you do that.
And that's what I'm trying to.
All right. Listen carefully to what I just said.
To where is that I can CEO this school, but I can go into semi-retirement at the same time and just basically, hey, you go over there, you go over here, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And
we can be the top head honcho, just tell people what to do and not have to do as much. I'd love to help you do that.
And that's what I'm trying to.
What did I say after that? Love to help you do that. Right? I'm putting the solution in his universe for him to get exactly what he wants. Are we talking money? I haven't talked money at all. I haven't negotiated on price. I'm asking a couple questions, right, that are necessary.
Get to. I got a car lot. I just sold it. People say, oh, you can, be a multimillionaire, open your car lot back, and this and that. But I'm tired. I don't want to, I don't want to open it up, and, so I gave.
So he has a car lot that he gave away. All right.
that away. You know what I mean?
Sounds like
I
work.
let-
Yep, I understand. As we get older, we want to do less and do what we love. I understand that.
and get that money put in the bank to where you can kind of relax and,
Yep.
do some of the things that you want to do.
Yep.
Do
you know if we can put more? Is it zoned for more trailers, or is 7 about it?
It's a rural area. You can do anything. And nobody's going to bother you for nothing.
No, but gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
So, okay, what did you say, though? I didn't hear what you said.
No, forgive me. I don't know. I don't know if there's extra space and there's extra hookups that are there.
There's extra space, and you can. I actually have an 8th trailer, and it's just a small. I mean, it's just a one-room, kitchen. Everything is. It's just got wheels on it. Where you can ride up and down. You can go up and down the street with. But even that can be hooked up. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying if I was going to keep it, this is what I was going to do. I was going to have them.
So hang on, that's called an RV, by the way. So there's an RV on site with 1 bedroom that can also be rented. Frank, for those that follow me, I think Frank's on the call because he's in my living room by my Christmas tree that I still haven't taken down. It's not a joke. I actually have a Christmas tree there. In a mobile home park that we both owned, there were actual RV spaces when we had RVs that were basically had tires blown out. And I think we were renting those for like $500-600 a month. Again, affordable housing is very hard to find, and having an address where you can get mail and for a very cheap amount where you don't have to work a lot in order to live, especially in these times, is very valuable. So you can put a lot of RV spots into some of these areas. And again, we're not here to cram people in and create this, this community of, a dive community. I want a nice community. I want a place where people are proud to live in. And if you give someone clean, affordable, drug-free housing, they're going to love it. And they have no problem paying for it. None.
Put a couple of septic tanks in this area that's not being used right now. And I was going to put 3 little bitty trailers like that because the people have no place to go. You know what I mean? There's a housing shortage. They literally got no place to go. So those places will stay rented. If somebody move out right now, I don't have to worry because so many people going to be on the phone. They're going to be big and, I'll do this and I'll do that. I'll pay more. I'll do this. I'll do that. Because if, when you look up Jacksonville, I'm sure you will, when you look up Jacksonville and you check that area, man, there's a housing shortage out of this world. And you got the college right there. You can put college kids in there. You can do whatever you want to do.
And by the way, this is, I think 3 miles from a college.
And as long as you keep it, the police is going to keep it to where it's crime free like it is now. Nobody comes in Jacksonville with no mess. The police, they don't allow anything, to go down.
I understand.
So you ain't got to really worry about any bad people coming in there doing anything,
I understand. But, yeah, if there's a little, we generally put amenities and create communities where people really enjoy being there and make it as safe as we can. So we're on the same page there. That's good.
Exactly.
Okay. Now notice that I said exactly what I just said here, in that we're not slumlords. We want to really make a really good community. And I don't know, again, we're at the fairly beginning phases at the moment with a contract about to be sent out. And I don't know what the size of this park is, but if there's space to put in, a couple of extra spaces, you're looking around maybe $10,000 to $15,000 to put in a septic system. Even if it's 20, again, plus whatever the investment is to, put in a trailer or another RV or whatever we need to do. If we can keep our costs low enough to around 20, 25,000, and you can get $700 to $900 a month, let's call it 800, right? So if you're at $800 a month times 12, all right, and we're keeping, again, about 80% because our costs are already covered with all the other units, right? We're looking at about $7,600 divided by, let's say it costs us 25 grand. I'm going to be a little bit more on the pessimistic side. It's still a 30% return. Is that okay? And if you're borrowing the money at 8 and you're getting a 30% return, how many of those do you want to do? If you're borrowing the money at 8 and you're getting a 30% return when it's done, how many of those do you want to do? Guys, using other people's money, not using your own. The money is available because of the high return. If you don't keep your promise, they keep the property. You're not going to not make a payment. You're going to make the damn payment. because you're making money on somebody else's money. You want to get as many as you can in there. With how much of your own money? Hello? None. What's the risk? Guys, it's risk-free investing. Risk-free.
And they feel safe now. The ones that's there, they're not trying to go nowhere. They are, they just trying to live. You know what I mean? They may cry a little bit. When you go up on the rent. Maybe you go up $100, but they still got the lowest price in Jacksonville.
Yeah, we don't raise rents right away. We first improve the community and then give them the option to stay or raise rents a little bit. But we want to give value first before we ask for anything. So, just how we.
Why would I say that? Why would I communicate? Hey, hey, you can raise the rents right away. No, I'm not going to do that. I want to improve the community first. Then I'm going to give them the options. Hey, you can stay, or but you raise the rents, or you can go. Why do I do it that way instead of raising the rents and then doing it? ¿Por qué? ¿Pourquoi? Guys, I get the money in advance to get the renos done. When I'm buying the property, when Anna and Craig buy this property, we're going to borrow everything that we need plus more in order to do everything that needs to be done. So we're going to do what we say we're going to do. And when your community is suddenly improving and there's no housing that's even close to this caliber because of all the amenities or things that we're doing, again, this might be a 10-space park, but what if this can be a 30-space park? What if this turns into a $10 million project? I'm not saying it's gonna, but we have to take a look at what our possibilities are and maximize this community, do what we got to do, and then it's automatic that things are going to raise.
That's right.
Yeah. Give first. Yeah, got to give first.
Positive spirit, man. I love the positive vibes. I love it, man.
Well, we've been doing this for 22 years, and I've seen a lot of people come and go because they're all about how much can they get, and you don't last long in life if it's all about you. So we really want to, everyone in our organization is really about really giving to give, and we get rewarded. That God takes care of those that takes care of other people. So we're very, very in tune to that. So we get it.
And anything that I can do to help you, all you have to do is let me know.
Well, I appreciate that, and I definitely will take you up on that. Do you have and I believe the number that you were mentioning or your son was mentioning was 75. Is that the number that you need?
That's the magic number.
Okay.
All right. So now I go to a number. All right. Listen carefully to what's next.
I understand. Okay. And
now, am I going to negotiate this number? Am I going to negotiate this number? It's already almost a 20% return. Is the $5,000 that I could possibly get that's lower going to have any impact on the scope of this deal, right? Let's take a look at, just from a hard numbers perspective, at 700 at 10 units. All right. And we keep 60% of it. All right. Just with quick calculation, it's worth at least $420,000. Is $5,000, and that's at a 10 cap market. If it's a 9 cap market, we're well over 500,000. All right. So, or very close to it. Is that $5,000 at 1% going to make a difference to me or to Anna or to Craig? Absolutely not. All right. But that $5,000 extra that we're not haggling over, who cares? We have a huge dinner. I'm not going to try to throw in 2 free desserts. Not going to do that. And it's taking advantage of people. Not going to happen.
Around that and do my best to get you that. Do you have a time frame that obviously?
So now I'm not going to focus on number. I'm going to focus on time frame. So what I do have control over is he doesn't seem to have an immediate need. So I can give him $75,000 with a longer closing period. Hey, you want 75? No problem. I'll do you a favor and give you the 75. I'm not going to haggle because I would. I'm going to have a longer closing period to ensure that we can A, line up the closing money, B, the renovation money, and C, is the scope of how can we really create a significant community where maybe we borrow $250,000 and we turn this into a $3 million park. And here's the plan as to how we're going to do that. So we want to see what it's going to be at the end, reverse engineer it, and say, worst case scenario, we're going to add a lot more, expenses to this. So no matter what happens, we're going to be okay. Make sense? Hope so.
Everyone wants everything today, but what's a reason?
We got 3 or 4 people that's talking just like you talking. Oh, I'm gonna buy it, and had.
All right. So interesting. All right. So now he's sensing that, that this is closer, and now he's trying to sell me on making a decision quickly. What's your time frame to get this thing done? Oh, we have all sorts of people that are talking about this. All right.
One for the 100. Oh, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna get this money together. They're gonna do this and they're gonna do that. But as of yet, nobody has stepped up to the plate. Had another call 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, and they supposed to come in.
And by the way, this is not listed. It's a deal behind the deal and a referral. So this is I'm surprised that he's saying this, because I already know where this deal came from. So
and then buy it. So somebody that's for real, all I need them to do is step up to the plate and go ahead on and make the move.
Yep.
What I mean?
We'll get you an agreement. Yeah. We don't want to waste your time. We don't have time to waste, and we just want to get rid of this. We have a different problem. Is we have capital that we have to use. In a fund, we take other people's money, and the second we have it in our account, we have to start paying interest on it. So we're losing money every day that we're not using this money. So we want to go as quick as we can. So
did I handle his time issue, or everyone says they have the money, but they're not stepping up to the plate? So we have the reverse problem. We have to use our money, but at the same time, we have to be responsible for it and take the time that it takes. So we don't have a money problem. We have a trust but verify problem.
It's pretty straightforward.
And it's a positive cash flow right now.
Yeah,
positive.
I understand it's around 2,000 gross. Is that about right, or is that?
How much is it, really? 3, 8. We never even counted. Trust me. 18.
Now you can hear that they're charging $350, $350 on some of these things. It's way undervalued.
Okay, for how much?
They're charging way less, and it's still $2,000 a month. We're still getting a 20% return with lower rents being collected.
For the 5,
Yes.
18, 20.
Right at 20.
20, yeah, right at 2,000.
Okay, understood. Is it city water, septic? It's city water, or it's well water?
City water with septic tanks.
And are they individually metered, or do you pay the water bill?
Oh no, they pay their own water bill. They pay their own everything.
Okay, good. All right, excellent.
You could. They need the garbage service. They changed the garbage service, and the garbage service lost their contract or something, and they're in the middle of a garbage war some kind of way. And so the people was burning out there, and I told them they can't burn.
All right. Well, is that a problem? Can't collect garbage? Sure is. All right.
Because of you watch television, they talk about burn pits and all that stuff. So they know they can't burn out there. So now they got some garbage company out there. I don't really like it, but I believe the people try to sneak and burn. But I told them if they sneak and burn, I'm gonna have to burn them. I'm gonna have to let them go.
All right, what I mean? Fair enough.
So it's a problem for the community, correct? Problem for him, correct? All right. I'm gonna give him a little bit of a solution here.
Oh, we can put until that's resolved. We can put we have waste management. They put a big dumpster there, and we can have a dumpster until that's resolved. So we don't have a problem with that. That's fine.
Okay. That's beautiful.
Yep, no problem.
All right.
Okay, so
double your money situation. I mean, for $70,000, what is that? $800 a month?
He just dropped the price to $70,000, by the way. I don't know if you heard that.
$100 a month payment on that. So I mean, it's 100% positive cash flow.
Well, we they're going to be costs obviously, but yeah, we're looking at more growing it than we are at just the cash flow now. We're going to put.
So he's talking about all the cash flow, and if I focus on that, it's dangerous. So I'm going to focus on, we're going to invest a lot of money into growing it to really make it better, right? We want to improve the community. We want to make things better for the community. It's not about us making money. It's a trap. Be careful, right? The guy said 70, I'm not going to pick it up. I don't care if it's 70, 75, or even 80. I really don't care, all right? It's already good enough. What I need to do is build a relationship to make sure that if something were to happen, he doesn't want to sell it to anyone else, to secure their position, Anna and Craig's position, to have no one else even be considered for this, right? And for him to understand that our values are aligned and that we want to help him in growing his future. All right. It's not about the money anymore.
As much money as we can to make it better. We haven't seen it yet. So what we'll most likely do is send you an agreement. It's Friday now, and I don't know how long legal will stay in the office. So I'll get an agreement over to you. And as soon as you okay that paperwork, we'll move this along as quickly as necessary, because the sooner we close, the better it is for us. And I'm assuming for you as well. So that's fine.
Okay.
Do you have anything else to sell by chance? Do you have more, or is this it?
Yep.
All right. I want to move on because I've probably been on now for 25 minutes already, and I want to get the hell off the phone. All right. So, and I have to, I won't sleep at night unless I ask, do you have anything else?
Let me say this before I forget. I'm
Sure.
old.
Oh.
We have to conduct the business at my bank because they hold the title. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the title company or
No, my bank holds the title. I still owe them $10,000.
I understand.
So when you do transaction with them, what they're going to do is they're going to take their $10,000 out. Then they'll give you the title.
I understand. No, the title company. We've done. Well, whatever needs to be done. If we have to go to your bank or we have to go, to wherever you want us to go, we'll go. So no problem. It'll be done, however it needs to be done. It's going to be whatever the closings are in Jackson, and that's what we're going to do. So Jacksonville.
Okay.
Okay. So do you have anything else by chance that you want to sell?
All right. So am I going to do a closing at a bank, first of all? Nope. Am I arguing with the guy as to where the closing is going to happen? And more importantly, why is he talking about closing right now? Why is he talking about closing? When nobody's been able to perform, everyone talks a big game. No one's, everyone says, I got a call yesterday on how, blah, 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 blah. What is he already thinking of, ladies and germs? Where is his head at already? Closing. Is that important and powerful to have the seller he's already spending the money. Hey, before I forget, I'm old. I want to do the closing over here. No problem. Wherever you want to do it, let's go do it. Does that make sense? And we're just talking here. We're just talking. All right. Again, these are skill sets that I empower those that want to learn to master to do this. All right. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and someone that does it in 3 months is already way better than someone that's never been doing it before. It gives you the edge, the advantage. And the more you practice, the better you become.
I forgot what you said. You was asking me just
Yeah. Do you have more? Do you have more property, or because we're always looking?
No, not right now. I got a property, but this lady, she's not paying.
Whoa. He said, no, not right now. Wait, I have a property where she's not paying. Listen to this.
She pays slow, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? So she goes to my church.
Well, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with selling it, saying, listen, I'm retiring and I'm selling, and we can take over the problem if you want to. Is it a single family?
So I can't sell it because she goes to my church and he starts laughing. All right. To me, that doesn't make sense. So listen carefully.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a single family, but I'm selling it to her. But she'll go 6 months without paying. And ain't nothing I can really do because her son. It's a long story.
So go 6 months without paying, and there's nothing I can do. That interesting? Is that an interesting statement to you? She goes 6 months without paying because there's nothing I can do. Again, he's a pastor. So he has a relationship with money where he feels uncomfortable asking for something that she's supposed to give, which is a roof over their heads, right? There's this entitlement of, well, and I've seen this before with tenants. When you ask for money, it's like you're doing something dirty. You have a cell phone bill, you pay it if you want to use it. You're living somewhere. If you don't use it, if you're using it, you got to pay for it. That's how things work, right? This sense of entitlement that I belong here and I shouldn't have to pay makes no sense.
In other words, if you never sell or rent to a person that go to church with you, because
it's complicated.
They will clown on you. Oh my goodness!
I understand.
And get mad when you come and ask for your money. They be insulted. Don't I know I owe you. Stuff like that, man. So,
well,
the truth is, I wish I could almost get it placed away. Just to keep away from her.
What did you just say? Did you listen to that? I want to give it away so I don't have to deal with this lady. It's not about money anymore. It's about peace of mind. And I've said this 1,000 times. It's not money that drives us. It's what we want to do next, or the peace of mind that's there. Every time he talks about this or sees this lady, he has to deal with it, doesn't want to deal with it anymore. He doesn't want to lose his reputation because he feels maybe if he's too forceful, it's going to hurt him or be bad on him that he's asking someone that doesn't have to take from that. It's fucking with his values, right? He just wants to give it away, which he does.
If you were to sell it and I were to help you out with that, I don't want to take it from you. I wouldn't sleep well at night if you didn't get anything. What did
I just say? He wants to give it to me. So what did I do? I'm like, look, I'm not going to feel comfortable taking this from you without you getting anything, right? And I don't know the situation yet. I know nothing. So what does that, from an integrity standpoint and a value standpoint, am I trying to take, or am I always offering to give? I'm really talking the talk and walking the walk here. I want to give first before I take. I have to. And I don't actually take, they're giving too. What have I taken here? I'm always giving. I'm always giving. And the more giving you are, which is very weird, because you think as a buyer, I want to give this number. This is the number that I want, that I need. This is when I want to do things. But this is completely 180 degrees from that. And every single week, I show you how effective the right process of giving with structure, giving with parameters, giving with systems in place allow you to not only give, but to make millions at the same time by creating the opportunities that help other humans.
Have the address on that by chance?
So I get the address here. I've cut this out. All right. It's worth around 55, 60 grand. Right.
What's the address over there?
But this young lady, she was having some problems, and I helped her. I told her, I said, she wanted to give me $500 a month. I said, no. I said, I'm not going to let you.
This lady offered to give him $500 a month. All right. Market rents for that area is about $900, by the way.
Give me $500 a month. I said, I'm only going to let you give me $300 a month. And, I put her in that place, and I could have rented it to her, but I said, no, I want you to have something. I want you to own something. But I ain't seen her, she ain't been to church and long, she and then you come and ask her for the money. She mad, her and her husband.
So is this guy also wanting to give? I won't let you pay $500 a month. I want you to own this and take $300 a month. And what happens to the human that wants to give to someone that only wants to take? Listen carefully to what happens. And that's why there has to be structure around giving to give. This is why I don't teach people for free, because if you haven't invested, you have nothing at stake. There's nothing to lose. And if there's nothing to lose, you don't care. And that's exactly what happened here.
But this young lady, she was having some problems, and I helped her. I told her, I said, she wanted to give me $500 a month. I said, no. I said, I'm not going to let you give me $500 a month. I said, I'm only going to let you give me $300 a month. And, I put her in that place, and I could have rented it to her, but I said, no, I want you to have something. I want you to own something. But I ain't seen her, she ain't been to church and long, she and then you come and ask her for the money. She mad, her and her husband, they both got jobs, and they'll get a job here and then they'll lose the job. And, it's a stressor to me. It's something that I would pay almost to get out of, if you understand.
I understand. Well,
I would give it away to, I would pay someone to get rid of it. I would pay to get this thing off my hands because it's that much of a weight and a burden on this guy. And I feel bad for this guy, right? But again, I don't want to help. I don't want to take on the problem and have me have the problem now, right? I don't want to inherit his problem. And now it's my problem because now I can't serve my community by having this burden, right? So we have to balance how we help other humans within the confines and the boundaries of what's possible. Okay.
What if I could relieve the problem from you and handle her, because clearly she's $300 a month to, I don't know if she expects to live for free, because I don't think that's fair. I don't think you would expect to live free anywhere or take advantage of anybody. And you're a good man, and I hate to see bad things happen to good people. And it's, I understand you're in a pickle because you're in the church and you have a.
Okay. I'm saying you don't understand. You don't have the whole picture yet. Okay. I borrowed, let's say, $20,000 or $25,000 on the property. I done paid it down, because I wanted to use the money. I play with money like that,
mm-hmm.
and I used the money, so I owe the bank $15,000.
Okay.
Right?
Gotcha.
And she owes me how much, Ray? No, I'm saying for the overall. Well, we have to look at it, and we have.
All right, so there's a $15,000 debt on this. Okay. So he's willing to pay to get out of it. Well, could we just take over the $15,000 debt and just call it a day? Could we do that? Sure, but then we have a new problem in that who's paying for that debt? Where's the money going to come from to pay for it? I told you, I don't want to take over somebody's problem and make it my problem. So right now, who's paying for the debt? Who is paying for this debt as this tenant / person is not making the payments? The pastor is. Now, could I do an arrangement where, now again, let me tell you what the arrangement is going to be after you hear the next thing.
To be able to lay out everything.
I understand.
And the bank, the same bank that got the title to the trailer park, they the same ones that got the title to that property.
What we can, what we can do, sorry to interrupt you, is we can actually just take it over. We can actually just take over the payments, and if you can, I'll send you an email, or your son an email. And is this your cell number? Is this his cell number? I'll text you our email. And then I'll if you want to email us the laydown and the story, and I don't know what paperwork you have with her to buy it, but
she done lost her paperwork, and I done lost mine too. Well, actually, I gave it to her to use to go get her lights cut back on or something, and I.
All right, so here's the pickle. Now I offered to make the payments, and I said, I don't even want to make that promise yet because this is a mess, and it just got worse. He gave the paperwork that he sold it to her to the tenant who's not paying, who also now says they lost the paperwork. Is that a problem? Now, do you think that tenant really lost the paperwork? Or do you think the paperwork is just being held on to for the time that something's going to happen and it's a CYA, right? Cover your ass. So this is going to be interesting legally, because if he sells it to us and she pulls out paperwork that, hey, wait a second, I was supposed to buy it, it's going to hurt the pastor, right? So there's a very, very interesting, very, like a hurricane about to get into this. And the thing that's going to hurt us the most is making the payments and getting the attorney and putting all those things together. Now, I know what I'm doing. All right. Ann and Craig haven't bought a piece of real estate in the US ever. So they have no clue what to do. And it sounds like what a terrible idea to take this over. It's worth around 50, 60 grand. $15,000 is owed. If we take care of the legal issues, most likely less than 5 grand in time. All right. Less than 5 grand in time. Is it worth 5 grand to take over, to basically be into a property for 20 grand total, the debt of 15 that is going to be serviced by the pastor while we fix the legal problem. And we really technically won't make the payments until the problem that he created is solved, right? It's complicated, but we can structure this where our all-in problem or opportunity is $5,000 tops. It's just how we structure this to really help the pastor, right? Now, he's making the payments already. So if we say we're not making, you have to make the payments until this bullshit is resolved, I don't think he's going to have a problem with that. And in fact, I know he's going to be thankful for that. And that is going to be our contribution, is that we're going to put in the money to get this resolved, and you're going to do your part, and this lady is going to go away, and you're going to end up smelling like roses by the end of it, specifically. And that's going to be my condition, is that I am going to have you smelling like roses by the completion of this.
That I use my paperwork, and she done took my paperwork. She done.
I got the Alabama Power.
But we know how much she done paid in. We know how much we owe at the bank, and we know how much you will win by, taking over the property. And then I let her deal with you. She'll deal with you differently than she'll deal with me. I'm her pastor, so she's gonna mess over me. She's gonna scratch my eyes out. He's a pastor. He coming by here. He bothered me.
Well,
and she having parties and all that. And won't give me money.
How are you?
6 months, man, you be like, oh my God, this is a devil.
How are you?
The guy he's laughing about it, but it's not funny. I think this guy's been fucked over, and it's not acceptable. It's really not. It's really terrible.
You're supposed to pay your bank payments if she's not paying you. We can even say that we can.
She said he got money.
Yeah, but that's not fair.
He's rich. He can pay for this. This ain't hurting him.
Wow.
But it's annoying. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I gave you, this opportunity. I made you take this opportunity. I tried to, be a real, you own, and then she makes me go, and she won't fix the house. She, if she's got a problem, if the heat go out, anything, I have to go over there and put $500 into it, $700, $1,000 into it, or whatever. Why she's just living there, not paying.
Yeah, that's. If you allow me to, I'll help you and protect you from that, and we won't put up with that at all, and no problem.
So that right there, if she can't call me, well, my bathtub stopped up. Yeah, go in there with a plunger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like she don't get.
Is he really now passionate about this? It's a real problem for him, right? So he's unloading right now, and I have to listen. I have to, right? He is venting, and he's not happy. And my role right now is to listen, right? So I have to listen.
Hey, you own this house. I mean, her and her husband, they both had good jobs. And then they both just got fired from that job. Now they back, at this other job where they came from. And my people just look at me and say, man, why you go over there? I said, well, if I don't go over there, the house will just fall down, if they don't, if they ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I mean? So I have to do everything. Anything go down with that house, then I got to pay insurance on it.
Yep.
And it's just it's a headache to me.
Yep. Well,
so,
we'll put something together.
I think I'm too tired. That's it.
Yeah, I've seen this movie before. This is not new to us, so
That's a negative. That's a negative energy, man. And then you get
it's sucking you dry, man. It's not fair. You shouldn't have to deal with that. And I'm sorry you're going through that. I know that's rough. You have a big heart and you want to help people, and sometimes people take advantage of that. And
that's exactly what's happening to me.
Yeah, and I'd love to be part of the solution if you allow us to. All right, so I'll put some.
You'll notice that I keep saying if you allow us to, if you allow us to help you, if you allow me to help you, then I'd be delighted to do that. Why am I adding this as opposed to saying I'm going to help you, I'm going to help you, I'm going to help you? What's the difference in speech pattern here? It's a little nuance that I want to make sure that some of you catch. I need permission to help someone. No one wants to be helped if they don't have permission to help them, right? If that's selling, I don't want to sell anybody. I'm not here to sell you. I'm here to help the human that wants to be helped. Just like in my classes, if someone doesn't want to come, don't come. If you come to the first day, don't love it, here's your money back. I don't care. You tried it, you don't like it, see you later. I'm going to focus on those that want to stay here. Those that work will see results. Those that don't see results. I guarantee that if you do nothing, nothing's going to happen. It's how shit works, right? So you have to position yourself like, I'd love to help you, but I don't have to, which is the truth. And we need to be careful that there's a skill set that goes with this, right? In how we're going to structure this deal, where Anna and Craig are going to have zero risk, only upside. The only risk is obviously the engagement of the attorney, but we're going to lay it before we even spend a significant amount with an attorney. We're going to know everything that needs to be done. We're going to have a clear path to an exit, and it's just going to be time at this point in service. That's it. All right. And yes, are we on a different team now, or are we on the same team at this point? Which one is it? Different teams or same teams? Exactly.
Together, I'll send you a text, and yeah, like I said, we'll send you paperwork. We're going to move as quickly as you allow us to, and we'll take it from there. And I don't know if nope, go ahead.
I'm gonna have my son do all the digits,
That's
all
fine.
the money stuff dealing with that house, that
No
property.
problem. No problem.
And
No problem.
we'll ride past there in a few minutes, and then we'll send you a picture of it. I mean, it's a nice house.
Don't need pictures. No, I have some cool software that allows me to see things. I'm actually looking at it right now. So.
Okay. And you'll see what it's worth, $50,000. You know what I mean? It's everything you want in there. You know,
yep.
And like that.
Alabama takes some time to get rid of people, and especially if you've been telling her she owns it, and then suddenly the paperwork pops up. So I don't even know what paperwork you have. So I don't know what kind of legal issues we're going to have, but we'll deal with it. We'll take care of it. At least then it's off your plate, and we're helping you at the same time. And even if we break even, I'm okay with that.
Because
and by the way, I mean that if we get into this deal and we make $300,000 on the mobile home park, and just to be of service, we can get him out of this horrible human that's just taking advantage of this guy, and he gets what he wants, and he no longer has this pain in the ass. Have we served our purpose at the end of the day? Now, we're not going to break even. We are going to make, unless there's some crazy shit that goes on. But even if we were to break even, would it be the right thing to do? Even if we don't, even if we didn't, if that's not necessarily what our intention is ever, to lose money, if we don't even lose money, we just break even to help another human being that just gave us a property that has a 100% return, to a 70% return, 60% return. It's a 20% now without the upside. It's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. And that's what we're going to do.
Put her out or did anything, she's connected to Facebook, and I mean, she will trash me, and she knows it. I know it.
Yep.
So he's scared of that backlash, and I get it. And we're going to help this guy because it's the right thing to do.
I'll tell you.
But
I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
I'm going to protect this guy like it's my own dad, man, because this is fucked up.
Exactly what to say. I'll tell you. Here's what you tell her. Here's what you say, and she will not be able to hurt you in any way. I'll protect you.
Good. All right. Thank you, man.
My pleasure. Right. My pleasure. It was no, you are, and I appreciate what you're doing for everyone in the community, and I know you're going to be very successful because of your kind heart, and appreciate your time, and I look forward to putting some dollars in your pocket so you can actually have less stress, because my dad is extremely sick and went through a lot of stress, and I've seen the mistakes that he's made, and if I can help other humans avoid all that, then I've done something, something good on this earth. So it's my pleasure, man.
Man, God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Keep in touch now.
And there you go. So helping others, got a free property, free house, an incredibly profitable mobile home park, and a guy that's really in a lot of pain. And why do we do this? For this. This is exactly why these skill sets are necessary. So you understand how to help people as things get more complicated. The average human wouldn't know how to put this, these processes or these things together, or what to borrow, how to structure the deal so there is no risk, so there's no money out of your pocket while you're helping other humans. And remember, the more humans that we help, the more money that we make. So I hope that was a good call for you guys, for those that were either diehard fans and come back every single week, or those that are, brand new and this is your first call. This is what we do. I play a call. This is, again, from just Friday. This is not, in any other time where everyone's saying there's no good deals out there. Well, we created a good deal. Where we landed is not even close to where we started. And understanding process is really what's going to get you, A, to help more people, B, to become very wealthy doing it, as I have. And I really am passionate about helping others. And now I'm going to be taking, a significant amount of time off, which I do every year. I usually take the 15th of June off until the 15th of September, which is 3 months. I have some really neat projects that I'm into that are fun. This is fun for me as well, but no scheduled seller calls for a little while. Frank and Gabe most likely might be playing a few here and there, so just keep an eye on your inbox. And for those that that are here every week, love you guys. And those that are brand new, love you too. And make sure you listen to our podcast, Big Fat Real Estate Checks. That's continuously going out. And if you want to learn how to do this, really help and serve as many humans as possible, and are committed to doing what it takes to get these skill sets, so you not only help people, but really build your wealth at the same time. As the economy, as inflation happens, your properties are growing in value as well, really adding more money into your pocket, more cash flow to your pocket, as you really help and serve others without having any money at risk, because you're borrowing everything that you need in order to create wealth for yourself. So hopefully this was awesome. It was awesome for me. Appreciate you. I know we ran over time, but why not? It's the last call for now. Thanks, guys. Have a great summer. And we will see you next time. Appreciate you. And if you are interested, Marco at marcokozlowski.com, in order to really change your path and your wealth and your communication skills and your skill sets to structure deals to make more money in the next little while than you have in the last long while. So really exciting. Thanks, guys. Bye for now. Toodles. Appreciate you. Bye.